And welcome back. Julia Gordon-Bramer with us. Her website is linked up at coasttocoastam.com. She's also on Twitter, X, and Facebook as well. They're going to slam your website tonight, Julia.
I can already see emails coming in, yeah.
Can people make appointments with you through your website?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll have to get, they can't, I don't have a calendar on the website, but I will return their email and we'll set something up.
How quickly do you get back to them?
Oh, I will probably be able to look at everybody coming in tonight, tomorrow.
Whoop, you still there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. I heard a little strange computer sound there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll probably be able to look at everyone tonight, by tomorrow.
Okay, well, you ready for readings?
I am.
All right, so what you want from them is a specific question, right?
Yes, and their first name, please.
Yeah, I'll give you that. So we're going to start by going to Denise in Arizona. She's a first-time caller. Welcome to the show. Hello, Denise.
Hi.
Good to have you with us. Go ahead with your question for Julia.
Hi, Julia.
Hi.
I just started a relationship with a guy that from the past, and I want to see where it's going.
Okay. Can I have his first name?
His name is Arden.
Arvin. Okay.
Arden.
So I'm looking at Denise and Arden.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yes.
Okay.
And what you got to do, Julia, while you're doing these, because you haven't done them a lot on radio, is you got to keep talking.
Okay. All right. So I put down 3 cards for you, Denise. I have the 6 of Wands, I have the Knight of Wands, and I have the 8 of Cups. And what I believe is this is going forward. You both seem to really be enjoying each other's company. It is not showing as being, locked in like true love or we want to be together forever or anything like that. But I think you've definitely got a year of progress ahead in this relationship and fun with that Knight of Wands. So an enjoyable, Arden is an enjoyable person, and I think that this does have a future, but it doesn't look very clear quite yet.
Okay.
Does that help you, Denise?
Yes, it does.
Okay, good luck to you, to be sure. Now, how many cards do you have spread out all over the place, Julia?
I put 3 down for Denise there, but I've already picked them back up, and I'm shuffling again for the next one.
So you have to shuffle for every individual, I guess, right?
That's correct. Yes.
And
they need their own special cards.
How influential is the tarot card reader with the results of the reading?
I think very influential, and like I had said earlier, my psychic ability comes into play there in knowing how to translate these cards and which meaning should come up and be pointed out. Because there can be many meanings. Look at the moon card, the one I told you about with the dogs on it. It can be a card for illness, physical illness, mental illness. The moon runs on a 28-day cycle, so it tends to be a card for the female stuff. Can be PMS, menopause, fertility. All of that. One card can have many, many meanings.
And you say relationships comes up almost number 1, huh?
Number 1. That's what people care about the most.
What's second? Jobs?
Probably money, which is different from jobs. There's lots of people who are not necessarily ambitious or whatever, but they, maybe they're retired, but money's still an issue. Or money and career tend to go hand in hand, but they don't always. So I look at them as separate questions.
Let's go to Joe in Maryland on the wild card line. Hey, Joe, welcome.
Hi, Miss Julia. Hi, Mr. George. How you doing?
Good to have you with us, Joe. Go ahead.
Miss Julia, I'm thinking about embarking on a new career, and what do you think about that?
All right, a new career, Julia.
All right, and I'm putting the cards down for Joe. And Joe, I'm a former Marylander also. Grew up in Rockville.
Nice.
All right.
In elk.
So yeah. So, Joe, you've got a couple different sorts of energies around this. Your first card is the Empress in reverse. So the Empress tends to be a card of creativity, but in reverse, it's saying you're not using that, your creative energy. So I think if this new career involves creativity, I think that would be fantastic, because I think that that's what you need. There's that part of you that needs to be expressed. Your center card is the Four of Cups, and this is about being picky or particular. I call it a card of knowing your God self, and so it's just saying be very, very careful to put your energies toward what you most want, what you most need. The opposite, when this card is in reverse, it's people pleasing, and so it may be that you just don't want to do that anymore, and you want to be living for Joe now. The Nine of Cups in reverse is next, and the Nine of Cups is a good card whether it falls right side up or in reverse. In reverse, there can be some delay on satisfaction or contentment. So what I would say is this new career is taking a little while to launch, and so I would really encourage you, use that creativity and be picky, be particular, because that is going to shift you in the right direction versus just trying to be all things to all people, trying to meet all needs, please all demographics, things like that. Just like George Norrie has his perfect little niche audience, not so little audience, in fact. If George tried to appeal to everyone, it would dilute the message, and it wouldn't work, So that's what I want you to think about, Joe.
All right. Good luck, Joseph. Hope everything works out for you. Now, when you were picking, how many cards did you pick for him? 3?
I did 3 again. Yeah, because that gives me a nice little picture of the situation. 1 card is kind of limiting. Is it a combination of the 3 that's important? Yes, and how the cards face each other, and which card comes first and second and third. In a typical reading, I'll probably go, for a question like this, I'll usually do like 5 cards, but and then with 5, I have sort of like the core issue, that center card. But I look at how the characters face each other in the pictures, all of that. Do the cards play off each other well? Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, they tell stories, and sometimes it goes well beyond, like I said, the book meanings of what the cards are. Next up, we've got John in Wisconsin. Welcome to the show. Hello there, buddy.
Hello, George. Hello, Julie. I have a brief comment that supports Julia's work. First, Great. I hope everybody had a chance to hear Julia's comments at the beginning of her segment. If you missed it, please go to the Coast to Coast website and listen to what she had to say. It's extremely important, and I'll paraphrase what Julia said. When she gets up in the morning, she asks herself, she asks her higher power, she asks her God, what can she do that day to help other people? How can she use her profession to bring healing to somebody? And that is exactly what we need in this country and in this world. And I want to say, I don't care if it's a tarot card reader. I don't care if it's a sermon from your church. I don't care if it's the wisdom from paranormal experts. We need people to come together, and we should never dismiss or discount professionals that bring that healing. And my final comment is, when we get to heaven, we're going to be very surprised who's there. And we're going to say to ourselves, how the heck did that guy get in heaven? Well, I'll tell you what, we don't know where people's hearts are at. We don't know what people have done to honor God's people through healing. So, Julie, I applaud you. I encourage you to stay healthy and keep up the good work.
Thank you, John. That means a lot to me. Yeah.
Appreciate it, John. One of our listeners cannot call in because her husband is asleep next to her, so she's written an email that says, "Hi, I'm Linda from Ontario, Canada, and I just want a general reading regarding my future path. Can you handle that?"
Okay, so that's pretty vague. I mean, I'll just see what I see for Linda, but usually it's good to have a direction, but we'll just take a quick look and see.
All right,
here.
sure.
So I'm going to put 3 cards down for her. And so Linda's got, okay, this is interesting. She's got the High Priestess in reverse. We've got the Six of Pentacles in reverse and the Ace of Swords. So the High Priestess in reverse is a card of someone who has a lot of natural intuition but is not using it. She may want to use it, but maybe she's a little lost. I would encourage her to develop her spiritual path. I do think she has abilities. We've got the Six of Pentacles in reverse as her center card here, which tells me she has a tendency to overgive, overdo. I would suggest she watch her boundaries and say no to some things and keep some back for herself. And then that Ace of Swords is some new beginning. I would say this year, swords are striking out, and so I read this often as a card of entrepreneurship. I would like to see if she's got an idea for a business or a service or something. This would be a great year to launch that, but it's always some sort of new beginning, so that looks like where her energy's going.
We're taking your cards. We're doing tarot card readings with Julia Gordon-Bramer. Let's go to Liz Marie, west of the Rockies in Fullerton, California. Hello, Liz Marie.
Hello, George and Julia.
Hi.
I wanted to say hi. I love what John said. Gosh. And
isn't that wonderful?
Yes. And I was thinking along the same lines, like, is there anything in particular, like a definitive career, a main career for me in this lifetime? As in, like, how can I help make life better for people? That's my main question.
Okay, Liz, let's take a look. And
nice question.
For you, too. Three cards seems to be what I'm feeling tonight for some reason. And so, all right. So, very interesting. So, Liz, you have two of the same cards, but that I just previously read, and I did shuffle, but in different positions, and so this changes the energy. We've got Ace of Swords in reverse to start yours, which is interesting because this is a time for you to be in kind of a standstill or holding pattern. For some reason, Liz, there is information right here, right now. It might be as simple as that. It might be the Buddhist, be here now. I teach my clients when we are in this present moment, very little can go wrong. Usually, all of the pain is in the past, and all of the anxiety and panic is in future stuff that hasn't happened yet or might not happen. So it might be as simple as just sharing that message with the people around you and maybe telling them to get away from the television some. You have the center card of Six of Pentacles straight up. Now, our previous caller had this upside down. Straight up, this is a card of philanthropy, of giving, of being of service to those who are less fortunate than you. So I see you know your blessings, you know your power, and you're very clear that you want to give. You've got, as your final card here, the Two of Wands in reverse, which tends to be a card of separation. So it seems to me, and I've seen this a lot since COVID, people are isolated. People are separated. In this technological age that was supposed to bring us all together, people are lonelier than ever. So to me, your direction is about reaching those people, about choosing to pay attention to who might not be connecting, to who might be isolated and lonely, and reaching out to them and really focusing on the present moment versus the distractions of the past and the future.
How does that sound, Liz? You like it?
That sounds wonderful. It matches up to everything I've been thinking and feeling. Thank you. Wow.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks you,
for
Liz.
calling.
What is the greatest combination, Julia, of three cards? Do you have those?
I don't really have those, George, because, every card is going to be very individual for someone's needs. We have our more powerful cards, which are those major arcana cards that we talked about. So, we always love to see the great ones like the Wheel of Fortune and the World card and the Lover's card, maybe, But it kind of depends where your life is and what you're going for. And those major arcana cards do have more impact, and it does tend to be, if I see a lot of those, it's maybe a very key year for you.
Fascinating. And then tell me a little bit about the Devil card.
the devil card, straight up, is not a bad card. He's the material world and the ego. And we all live in the material world, and we all have egos. So, I read him and I say he's sensual pleasures. He's living large. He's good food, good drink, sex, sleeping late, the indulgences. And that's all fine, and that makes life worth living. So there's nothing wrong with that devil. But when he's in reverse, it goes too far. And that's when we get into the addiction, the depression, the panic, the anxiety. And I say he has picture. There's a picture on the devil card of chains that he has on this couple. There's a man and a woman beneath him in the picture, and he owns those people. And so the idea with the devil in reverse is that they're owned by their addictions, they're owned by their depression. That is not a card you want to see.
All right, let's get one more call in before the break and come back with final calls east of the Rockies. Michael in Connecticut. Michael, go ahead.
Hey, thanks for taking my call, George.
Thanks, Michael.
My question is, do you have any messages from my angels?
Messages from his angels.
All right. Do you have a name for your angel, Michael?
Yeah, his name is Michael.
Oh, okay.
Archangel Michael, no doubt.
All right. Let's take a look. And this is a new one. I haven't had anyone ask me to read angels.
How about that?
Yeah. So I pulled 3 cards once again. Michael, your first card is the death card in reverse. And this just tells me that you're not ready yet to make that big transition. It does not mean that there's a problem, but there's more to learn right now before the big change, whatever that change is. You have the King of Pentacles in reverse, which does tell me you are inclined to, sometimes this is to want to take over, to want to control things a little too much. He's not a bad king, but he has, an attachment to how he thinks it has to go. And sometimes you're not dreaming big enough. So try to let go. When I first published my first book on the scholarship around the mysticism of Sylvia Plath, I thought that this was going to really shake the Plath academic community. And I instead found that they rejected me. They didn't like it so much because I was changing the story, and they also didn't take a tarot card reader too seriously, even though I do have an MFA and I'm a well-educated person. But, I had an idea that I was trying to force it in a way that now it seems to all be unfolding, but with a different audience and 15 years later than when I had intended. So I tell you that story because I do feel like you're trying to force it, whatever it is. And then your last advice from this angel is to have fun.
That's the name of the game, too, Julia, to have a lot of fun. We're coming back to have more fun with final calls next. And welcome back to Coast. George Norrie with you with Julia Gordon-Bramer, our final segment here where we'll take your calls. What's the greatest lesson, Julia, you would like people to take away about tarot?
I think that would be that tarot is not dark, it's not evil, it's not spooky. A lot of people, especially around Halloween, which we just got through that season, they want to kind of lump it in that. And I always wonder if I'm disappointing them a little bit because a lot of people get very fascinated with the darker aspects of the occult. But I really see the tarot as a tool for healthy living and positivity and love and light. And so that's the big message here.
The calls are lining up for you, so let's go to them. Let's go to Lori in Brighton, Illinois. Welcome to the show. Hello, Lori.
Hello. How are you?
Good. I hope you are well, too, and go ahead with your question.
Hi, Julia.
Hi.
Hi. When I was talking to Tommy, I didn't think of something specific to ask you. I was going to ask for maybe a general reading. I didn't know if you could do that, but
okay. I'll just put down a few cards for you here really quick, and we'll see what we see for you, Lori.
All right, let's do it like that.
So Lori also has a high priestess, and right side up. So, Lori, it sounds to me like you are actively developing your own intuitive abilities. We all do it differently, of course. Some people are drawn to tarot like I am. Some people are astrologers, or some people, just do gut feeling. You've got the 10 of Cups, so there seems to be a really nice focus on the family, a lot of joyful energy, especially around the holidays here, I'd say. And then you've got the 2 of Pentacles in reverse, which this is a little bit of a juggling money situation. So it does feel like you might be robbing Peter to pay Paul a little bit of stress around money this year, which, gosh, a lot of people have it with this economy and inflation. I'm not seeing actual suffering, but I am seeing some stress.
Does that help you, Lori?
Yeah, I guess you don't see anything about health-wise, do you?
Well, I didn't look. If you'd said health, I could have done a health reading. Would you? I don't know if George wants me to do another reading on you.
Do one quick one for her. Go ahead.
All right. How about I'll just pull one card for Lori on health here.
Okay.
And so I've got the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, which is usually this is a genetic predisposition, something you've inherited from your family that does feel like you could be struggling with it a bit.
Okay, there you go, Lori. Next up, Eric is truck driving in Indiana. Hello, Eric.
Hello, George. Hello, Julia.
Hi.
Hi. I want to ask, I'm a pretty positive, optimistic person, but I tend to worry a lot. I'm kind of like that Johnny Cash song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song, But anyway, can you give me something on that?
Yeah, I'm just going to talk to you about that. Worrying is kind of like praying for what you don't want. So, think about like an athlete. An athlete keeps his eyes on the prize. An athlete would not say, what if I trip and fall? What if I don't make it to the finish line? Because that opens up the space for that negative thing to happen, right? So, think about doctors know about the power of the mind with the placebo effect and with the will to live. These are universal principles, but we forget in our day-to-day. So what I want you to do is when you catch yourself worrying, realize, go, oh, I'm doing it again, and reframe and go for what you want versus what you don't want, okay?
Interesting take. How many people are worried about day-to-day activities? What do you think, Laura? Julia?
Some people worry constantly. I mean, some people, it's just their general nature. I have people sit down in front of me sometimes and they'll say, okay, what do I have to worry about? And I say, nothing, because it's totally negative, but that's how they phrase it, instead of what's coming up for me. So, we all do it differently, I think, depending on our families and how we were raised, and if there's just a lot of fear in your life, but it does not help anything. So you always want to put your energy toward what you want. Just like when you're driving in the car, what you're looking at is the direction you're going to. So you don't want to go to worry.
How does negativity affect a person?
Oh, I think it's really right there next to fear as some of the, the things that make us physically ill, mentally ill. It's a time for extreme negativity in our world right now, and that's why I say it's just so important to rein it in and handle your little corner of the world and be love and be light to the people around you and not get caught up in the macro, keep it micro because the negativity can destroy us.
Absolutely.
It just kills our energy.
Back to calls, Stephen in Oklahoma. Hello, Stephen.
Hello, George. Hello, Julia.
Hi.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking my call. And I want to say thank you to George. He's been a big catalyst in my esoteric journey. He's up there with Aaron Apke, Dolores Cannon, and all the others up there.
Well, thank you,
George.
Stephen. Thank you, sir.
Awesome.
And go ahead
Julia,
with your question.
Yeah, I'm on an esoteric journey, and I would like you to read and see where our group of esoteric friends are going with our homestead journey.
Okay.
Trying to build a self-sufficient homestead.
Okay. So I put down 3 cards for you. And, Stephen, your first card is the Tower, which tells me that this homestead is, kind of apocalyptic. It looks to me like I would say like kind of a doomsday prepper. And you're getting ready. And I know a lot of people in that mindset right now. The center card here is the 4 of Pentacles in reverse, which is a worry or focus on a lack of stability, usually financial. So, you may be concerned about, turning over to digital money, or you may be just afraid our economy is going to collapse. There's some valid reason for that. And then you've got the Knight of Wands in reverse, which is about kind of not trusting energies. So I have to say, it's a little on the negative slant. I would love to see you and your group shift this to, maybe creating a utopia. That would be flipping the energy to something more positive. But it looks right now like you're very much preparing for the worst. And to a point, you're drawing that to you.
Stephen, what do you think? Does that help you?
It is very spot on, and I thank her for that. But we do believe in the power of positive thought, so I will take this and run with it and make it utopia. So thank you, Julia.
Excellent.
Thank you, George.
Thank you, Stephen. Drive carefully out there. Next up, we've got Mike truck driving in Indiana. Hi, Michael. Go ahead.
Hi, George. How are you guys tonight?
Okay, everybody's good. Thanks.
Good deal. You got 2 truckers from Indiana tonight. That's pretty cool.
They're everywhere. Keeping America moving.
You know it. My question would be, the number 1 topic would be love.
Love, the relationships. What do we got there, Julia?
I didn't catch your name. Can I get his first name?
Michael.
Yeah. Michael.
Yeah, and I am in a relationship right now. I'm just kind of a little, just wanting to know how it's going on the other side, I guess.
Michael, could I have the first name of the person in the relationship with you?
Catherine.
Okay, so I'm going to look at you and Catherine. I'll just do 3 cards again.
Is that with a C or a K, by the way, Mike?
That's with a C.
All righty.
So, Michael, I do not think that she is your forever person.
Ooh,
I
Julia.
have the page of, yeah, I know. I hate to as we close out the show, to end on a down note here, but Page of Wands in reverse tends to be some immaturity. And whether it's her or you or both of you, it may just be that you're not ready. I've also got the Moon in reverse, and this is a very hormonal card. I think I mentioned it earlier that it runs on a 28-day cycle, like the female menses. So sometimes it can say that our hormones are driving the whole relationship. I'm not seeing a lot of substance. It does feel to me to be more physical. Which, in and of itself is not a bad thing, but you want the big love with it too. And you've got the 5 of Pentacles as your last card, which tells me no, she's not the one. It may last a while, but I don't think a long while. Okay. Sorry to bum you out.
Younger. That's all right. She is a little younger. Does that have anything to do with the immaturity thing that you spoke about?
Very well could. It very well could. And I would just say she does not have the emotional development for real love yet.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right.
All right, thanks, Mike. You don't sound distraught, Mike.
Well, it is what it is. You just kind of roll with it, and life goes on. There's nothing you can do. You just got to roll with it, and God will play his cards how he wants.
That's so true.
Just because she's not your person now doesn't mean it. Like you'll find the forever person eventually. But she might be all right for the moment.
Let's go to Massachusetts on the wild card line. Rick's with us. Hey, Rick, go ahead.
Hey, George. Hey, Julia.
Hi.
Just the main thing I was looking at was probably the most popular ones, but my health and, of course, some wealth, because my health issues caused some financial issues. So
health and financial. What do you think, Julia?
Okay. All right. Let's see.
In the waning moments of the show.
We'll see what comes up for Rick. Okay. So health, I'm not. Well, it looks to me like you are seeing a doctor, but it doesn't strike me as too serious. I am seeing the need for a regular program or regimen. So if this is, medication, or if this is exercise, something like that, there seems to be the need for it. You do look with the Three of Cups like you enjoy your food and drink, and so sometimes that, of course, can affect the health. What I will tell you as far as wealth, you've got the Magician card here, so you are capable of making great change, believe in your magic. However, your focus is not on money for money's sake, and we want to grow the money energy. I would like you to get, not to worship money, but to get more interested in money, because if you want to build money in the bank, that's where your power is. Too often people are focused on what money gets them, and they get those things, but they're still left poor, So you don't want to get those things with a high price tag. You don't want to run up your credit and things like that. You don't want to be beholden to other people. So I would like to encourage you, Rick, to just start reading some money books, get some general money practices, and develop a real interest in building and saving money, and that is going to help just get those money energies flowing better for you.
Rick, what do you think of that advice?
Oh, great. Yeah. Well, I do have that I'm kind of a positive, person, positive thinking. So, and it's just my health's been holding me back a little bit, but I will take that into account and see what I can do.
All right. Heed her advice. And as we wrap things up, Julia, where do people get your book, Tarot Life Lessons?
It is available. It is released today, so I'm so excited to be on your show right now on Amazon and all major booksellers. Wednesday night, if you're in the St. Louis area, I have my book release party where I'll be doing a signing and reading from the book, and 4 random people will get some free readings for me there.
What time is that, and where is that?
That is 7 to 9 p.m. at the Center for Spiritual Living in Creve Coeur. It's close to Olive and off of Fifi Road.
I know that well. I'll be prepping for my show, but if I get a minute, I'll swing by to say hi.
That would be great.
And Julia, give out your website one more time.
It is my name with no hyphens or periods or anything. It is JuliaGordonBramer.com, and I'll spell that Gordon, Gordon, Bramer, B as in boy, R-A-M as in Mary, E-R.
Thank you, Julia. Good luck, and stay in touch. We'll get you back on. For Dan Galante, Tom Danheiser, Lisa Lyon, Lex Lonehood, Sean Ladassour, Stephanie Smith, Chris Borals, Tim Bernal, George Knapp, and Ian Punnett, I'm George Norrie, somewhere out there on Coast to Coast AM. We'll see you on our next edition. Until then, be safe, everyone.